For 8 years, my son went to the bank every Monday. He always said, "It's just my job." When I learned my son died in a business trip accident, the bank sent me the safe deposit box he left behind. And when I finally opened it, what was inside left me terrified. Have you ever trusted someone so completely that you never thought to question them? My son went to the bank every Monday at exactly 2 p.m. For 8 years, rain or shine, he never missed it. When I asked why, he'd pat my shoulder and say, "Just work, Dad. Real estate deals." I believed him. Why wouldn't I? That November, Marcus flew to Panama City for what he called the biggest deal of his career. 3 days into his trip, the call came. My son had drowned off Playa Coronado. By the time I buried him, I finally understood what those Monday visits were really about. Before I tell you what I found in that safe deposit box, tell me, where are you watching this from, and what time is it there? Drop a comment. I need to know I'm not alone in this. Let me tell you about Holden. My son was 35, a real estate developer with an office downtown, and that kind of smile that made you believe everything would be okay. After my wife Judith passed 5 years ago, Holden became my anchor. Sunday dinners, basketball games, phone calls just to check in. He was the kind of son who still hugged his old man goodbye at airports. Every Monday at 2:00 p.m. like clockwork, Holden went to the bank 8 years straight, I asked once. "Just business, Dad, real estate investments, boring paperwork." I believed him. Why wouldn't I? Looking back, there were signs the way he changed the subject about specific projects, the phone calls he'd take in another room. But hindsight's 20/20. And I was his father. I trusted him. That November, everything changed. "Dad, big opportunity," Holden said when he called Tuesday morning. "Panama City International Real Estate Development Summit could be the deal that sets us both up." I drove him to the airport Thursday. He hugged me tight. "Love you, Dad. See you soon." That was the last time I saw my son alive. Days 2 and 3, he checked in. Postcard, phone call. Conference is amazing. This could really be something. His voice was happy, real. Day 4, evening. I was cooking dinner alone when my phone rang. International number. "Mr. Pierce." The voice was formal, accented. "This is Officer Gutierrez, Panama National Police. I'm calling about your son Holden." My heart stopped. "Is he okay?" "I'm very sorry, sir. There's been an accident. Swimming Playa Coronado Beach, riptide, 24-hour search unsuccessful. They'd found his rental car, his shoes on the sand, wallet, and phone in the car, but no body. These currents, Mr. Pierce," Officer Gutierrez said quietly. "Sometimes they don't give back what they take." "I'm very sorry." The phone slipped from my hand. I couldn't breathe. My son, my only son. I slid down to the floor and sobbed. I don't know how long I sat there. I called Claire, my daughter. "Dad, what's wrong?" I couldn't form words. "I'm coming right now," she said. Within an hour, Claire was there holding me. "We'll get through this, Dad." I barely heard her. All I could think, my son, my baby boy. His last words, "Love you. See you soon." I would never see him again. Never hear his voice. Gone. "Dad," Claire said softly. "We need to call Bethany. Holden's wife." I nodded, numb. That night I didn't sleep. Claire stayed, but I barely noticed. The days that followed were a fog. Arrangements, phone calls, people I barely remembered. Claire handled everything. I just walked through the haze, seeing Holden everywhere, smiling, waving, disappearing beneath waves. And somewhere in that fog, a thought kept whispering. Drowning men don't wave, they fight. 10 days after the call from Panama, we held a memorial service. Portland Funeral Home. Polished mahogany casket closed, empty. It felt wrong. Not because of what was missing, but because of what was there. Flowers, people, sympathy. All of it real. All of it for something I didn't yet understand. I stood at the front looking at that empty box. "Holden was my pride," I said. My voice cracked. Successful, thoughtful, the kind of son who I couldn't finish. I sat down. Claire squeezed my hand. Bethany sat in the front row, red-eyed, gracious. Holden's co-workers spoke about his business acumen. Neighbors shared memories. The casserole brigade descended on my house afterward. Tuna noodle green bean condolences wrapped in foil. "He's in a better place," they said. I nodded, mute. After everyone left that night, the house felt heavy with silence. 3 days later, the mail came. Bills, sympathy cards, then a white envelope. First National Bank logo. Re-safe deposit box 847. Co-holder access notice. I stared at it. Safe deposit box. What's safe deposit box? I read it twice. Opened 8 years ago by Holden Pierce. Co-holder Donovan Pierce. 8 years. The Monday visits. My hands shook. I called the bank immediately. First National. This is Beverly Winters. Professional kind. I just received a letter about a safe deposit box. My son, he passed away. Yes, Mr. Pierce. I'm so sorry for your loss. Your son opened it 8 years ago. You're listed as co-holder. I can schedule access for you tomorrow, I said. First thing tomorrow, of course, 9 a.m. That night, I didn't sleep. Claire tried to reassure me. Probably just business documents, Dad, paperwork. But I knew better. Secrets don't live in safe deposit boxes. They hide there. The next morning, gray November light filtered through the bank windows. Beverly led me to the vault, sympathetic but professional. 2 keys required hers and mine. She handed me Holden's key. Box 847. Heavy cold. The private viewing room was small fluorescent lights buzzing. A single table. Beverly closed the door. Take your time, Mr. Pierce. I was alone with the box. I opened it. Inside manila folders are USB drive papers. I pulled out the first folder. Home equity loans. My house documents spanning 8 years. $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, $175,000. Total $400,000. The signatures looked like mine, but they weren't. I knew my own hand. These were close. Too close, forged. The final page foreclosure notice. 90 days overdue. My house. The house Judith and I bought 40 years ago, gone. I couldn't breathe. I opened the second folder. Investment losses, real estate projects. Panama City condo project, $250,000 lost. Costa Rica resort, $300,000 lost. Cabo development, $250,000 lost. Total $800,000 over 8 years. Holden's business wasn't successful. It was hemorrhaging money. Third folder. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Life insurance policy, $500,000 policy on Holden's life. Beneficiary listed, not Bethany. Kelsey Whitmore, Panama City, Panama. I didn't recognize the name. The last item was a handwritten note. Holden's handwriting. Dad, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I'm sorry. I thought I could fix it before you found out. I tried. God, I tried, but I couldn't. I'm sorry for what this will cost you. I love you. H. The paper slipped from my hands. My vision blurred. The room spun. A knock. Mr. Pierce, are you okay? I couldn't speak. Beverly helped me copy everything. I walked out to the parking lot and sat in my car for an hour staring at the papers in my lap. $1.2 million. He destroyed me over 8 years. And I never knew, never asked. I walked into that bank one man. I walked out another. My son was dead. But the nightmare. It was just beginning. The next morning, Claire arrived with her laptop. I hadn't slept. Documents from the safe deposit box were spread across the dining table like evidence. Claire took one look at me, sat down her computer, and said, Dad, sit. I've been up all night digging. I showed her everything. Loans, losses, the insurance policy with Kelsey Whitmore's name. Her face hardened. That bastard. I flinched. Still, my son. Still. I'm sorry, Dad, she said gently. But we need the truth now. No sentiment. Exhausted, I nodded. What did you find? Claire opened her laptop. Holden's business, smock and mirrors. She pulled up his company website, sleek, professional, but all stock photos and no real projects. His LinkedIn had grand titles, but only 47 connections. Suspicious for someone claiming major deals. Business registry records showed he'd filed paperwork, but barely operated. No permits, no project filings. Then she opened the tax documents Bethany had shared. Income last year, $65,000. Not the $200 he bragged about. Next, she opened his digital calendar. Every Monday at 2 p.m. for 8 years, notes read. Bank paperwork refinance. He was signing loan documents, Claire said, shuffling money. Using your house, your credit, your name to stay afloat. My stomach twisted. For 8 years while telling you he was building our future, she switched tabs. Now, Kelsey Whitmore. A Facebook profile appeared. 32 blonde bright smile. Worked in hospitality at a Panama hotel. Photos of beaches, sunsets, cocktails, 3 years of posts. Claire scrolled. Look at this. 18 months ago. A photo of clasped hands. The man's hand visible. She zoomed in. Dad, the watch. Silver dive watch worn leather strap. The one I gave Holden for his 30th birthday. Judith had helped choose it. My chest tightened. Claire kept scrolling. 14 months ago. So, same apartment view. 11 months silhouettes of a couple captioned Paradise with my love. 8 months, an arm around her shoulders. A Celtic knot tattoo on the forearm. Holden's tattoo. I'd driven him to get it at 21. 2 months before his death, Kelsey on a beach captioned, "Can't wait for our future together." Claire cross-referenced dates. Every one of Holden's business trips to Panama matched posts about her being with someone: dinners, weekends, beach days. This wasn't occasional, she said. This was a second life. The affair had lasted at least 2 years, maybe longer. That afternoon, the doorbell rang. Bethany, Claire had told her. She looked pale, trembling. Claire told me about her. She sat heavily at the table, staring at Kelsey's photo. Tears slipped down in her face. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. She pulled out Holden's phone record, still in her name. Dozens of calls to a Panama number over 2 years, nearly daily. He said it was a client, a big deal, and I believed him. Then she mentioned the life insurance. 6 months ago, he said we needed to update it. Estate planning, he said. I signed everything. Trusted him. She looked at me helplessly. If I had just asked. We both trusted him, I said. She left in tears. Silence settled. Claire stared at the photo of the clasped hands, the watch glinting. For a long time, neither of us spoke. Then I said quietly, "What if he didn't die, Dad?" They never found a body. Just his car, his shoes, some debris. I tapped the insurance policy. $500,000 to his mistress. $1.2 million in debt under my name. Nobody. You tell me what that looks like. Claire slowly closed her laptop. We need a private investigator. I nodded because suddenly mourning my son felt premature. What if the man I buried had never died at all? 1 week later, I sat in a downtown Portland office. Elliot Grayson's space was clean and modern, walls lined with photos from international cases. Grayson himself, early 40s, an ex-FBI, had sharp eyes that seemed to read everything at once. Claire had found him. Best in the business for international work. Dad, I laid out the whole story. The supposed death. 4 days into a Panama trip, nobody recovered the safe deposit file showing $1.2 million in forged debt. The insurance policy naming Kelsey Whitmore, the affair documented by photos and phone records. Grayson took steady notes. "Mr. Pierce, this pattern is classic stage death insurance fraud. Rare, but your son matches every indicator. No body, foreign partner, large payout, heavy debt. Convenient timing." He slid a folder toward me. "Investigation in Panama requires $10,000 upfront. 2 to 3 weeks. I'll coordinate with my contact Walter Hastings, former detective, now private investigator. If your son is alive, we'll find him." I hesitated. It was nearly all the savings I had left. "Dad, we have to know," Claire whispered. I signed the contract with shaking hands. Grayson paused at the door. "If we do find him alive, what then?" "Then I'll decide," I said. The next 2 weeks crawled by. I couldn't eat or sleep. Claire called every day asking for updates. Meanwhile, life kept collapsing. A foreclosure notice arrived 30 days to vacate. My new lawyer, Monica Garrison, said we could fight the forged debt, but needed proof. "If your son is alive, this becomes federal fraud," she said. I packed boxes, Judith's books, her gardening tools, the quilt she stitched the year Holden was born. Holden hadn't only taken money. He'd taken the last piece of her I had left. Memories blindsided me. Holden at 10 on our fishing trip. Kept shouting, "Dad, look." I caught one. That gap to grin. The boy who looked at me like I was the whole world. I stared into the empty house. Which version was real? I whispered. Was any of it? On day 16, my phone rang. "Mr. Pierce, are you sitting down?" My pulse thudded in my ears. "You found him?" "Yes, he's alive. Living in Coronado, Panama with Kelsey Whitmore. I'm emailing photos now." I opened my laptop. 4 images appeared. Holden at a beach bar, tanning and laughing. Holden and Kelsey with their arms around each other at sunset. Holden at an ATM in casual clothes. Holden entering an apartment building, keys in hand, moving with ease. Timestamp 3 days ago. Location, Coronado Beach, Panama. My breath vanished. Holden was alive, happy while I buried an empty casket, lost my home, and drowned in grief. "Mr. Pierce, you still there? Is he using a different name?" I managed in the expat community. "He goes by Blake Morrison. Not hiding, just living, I repeated. While I was dying, there was quiet on the line. Finally, I said I want to see him. We could notify the FBI. "No, not yet. I need to see him first. Face to face. That's not legally advisable. I don't care. He's my son. I need to ask him why. A long pause. All right? Hastings can set up an accidental meeting. When can you fly? Tomorrow. Claire stood beside me. Dad, I'll come. No, this is between me and Holden. That night, I packed. I took one photo from my nightstand holding at 10 o'clock, both of us grinning over a trout. I stared at it for an hour. Who had that boy really been? The next morning, Claire drove me to the airport and hugged me tightly. Be careful. Call me when you land. I will. I love you, Dad. I love you too. As the plane boarded, one fear echoed. What if he ran again? What if I never got my answers? I'd never been to Panama. Never wanted to. The alarm went off at 4 in the morning. I hadn't slept. Claire drove me to the airport in silence. Security gate boarding. Her last words. Be careful. I love you. I clutched the fishing photo in my jacket. 8 hours. Portland to Miami. 5 hours. Miami to Panama City. 3 more. I couldn't sleep. Rehearsing words. Why? How could you? Nothing sounded right. Memories ambushed me. Little League teaching him to drive. College move-in. Was any of it real or was I always just useful? Late afternoon, Panama City. The heat hit like a wall. Humid, thick, overwhelming. Walter Hastings waited at arrivals. 50 weathered polo shirt kind. Mr. Pierce. I'm Walter. Elliot sent me. I'm sorry. Let's just do this. 90 minutes to Coronado Beach. Walter drove city to suburbs to coast. Ocean left. Sunset beginning. Holden rents a 2-bedroom ocean view. $1,200 a month. Bua Vista Beach Bar most evenings 6 o'clock, same table. My contact confirmed last night. I've arranged a nearby table. Kelsey usually comes, and what if he ran left? Didn't care, whatever happens. I'm back up. You're not alone. Thank you. 5 o'clock, small hotel, simple room, ocean view. Ironic, I showered, changed hands, shaking mirror. Hardly recognized myself, older. Broken. 5:30 Walter, not ready, no, but let's go. We walked the beach. Sunset spectacular. Golden hour, paradise. I thought he chose paradise while I lived in hell. Bua Vista appeared. Palapa roof. String lights, reggae. Tourist laughing, drinking. Corner table. Ocean facing his spot. I saw him. Holden, tan, healthy, relaxed. Hawaiian shirt. Sunglasses up. Corona with lime, laughing. Kelsey beside him, blonde. Young, radiant. Leaning in, happy. Genuinely, carelessly happy. I froze, couldn't breathe. My dead son drinking beer, laughing. Anger flooded in, white hot, overwhelming, clear. I walked forward. Holden faced the ocean. Walter followed steps back. I reached the table 3 feet away. Kelsey looked up. Can we help you? Holden turned, eyes met, face went white. Beer froze midair, blood drained, mouth opened, no sound. 5 seconds, hours. Dad, I couldn't finish. Kelsey confused. Wait, what? Who? I'm his father. Deadly calm. Her face changed, confused, shocked, horrified. But you said, Kelsey, please give us a minute. She stood. Are you kidding me? Please. She stared, anger clear, stormed toward the beach, looked back once, disbelieving. Diners noticed. Walter moved away, watching. We were alone. Holden looked straight at me. Pale, guilty, calculating, already thinking what to say. Which excuse would work? Dad, don't. I sat hard. Chair scraped cement. Long silence, waves, music. Laughter at another table. Normal sounds. Normal night. Nothing normal. You're alive. He swallowed. I can explain. Then explain all of it right now. You owe me that. His hand shook, reaching for beer. Where do I even start? He took a long drink, set the beer down, wouldn't look at me. 30 seconds. Silence, picking at the label. It started 8 years ago. Miami condo. 50,000 developer went bankrupt. Lost everything. Borrowed 30,000 from friends. Lost that too. Voice dropped. I was drowning, so I used your credit just once just to survive. My voice ice. You forged my signature. He nodded. Told myself temporary. I'd pay you back. But then first loan 50,000 year 1. Panama investment failed. Needed more to cover payments. Second loan 100,000 year 3. Third, 150,000 year 5. Fourth, 100,000 year 7, 400,000 on your house. $800,000 in losses total like quicksand. The more I fought, the deeper I sank. Monday bank visits. Signing documents. Moving money to look healthy. My business bitter laugh. A joke. The success you were proud of. Acting. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't admit I was failing. So you destroyed me instead. He flinched. I didn't mean for 8 years I could barely breathe and he glanced toward the beach. Kelsey pacing 3 years ago real conference met Kelsey at the hotel bar. She didn't know my life failing, Mary drowning with her, I could be someone else. Started coming back every few months, told Bethany business trips pause a year ago. I started planning what he looked at me, you know what voice flat mechanical 6 months ago changed my life insurance. Kelsey beneficiary, listed as business partner. She thought I was single. Thought my dad died years ago. The conference was real. Day 3, I drove to Coronado. Left the car. Shoes on beach. Wallet visible. Swam 400 meters around rocks. Contact pick me up, 5,000. Fake passport 10,000. Death certificate 5,000. 20,000 total. Worth it to escape 1.2 million. My hands fisted. You planned this over a year while calling me every Sunday. While saying you loved me. While I trusted you with my house, my future. I'm sorry, don't. Voice breaking. I'm desperate. 60 years old. No house. The house I lived in with your mother. Every memory gone. Drowning in your debt. But I'm here facing it. I stood, leaned over the table, shaking. Not hiding in paradise with a fake name. Easy for you. I was never a coward. That's what you are. A coward and a thief. You let me grieve you. I collapsed at your funeral. Claire held me while I sobbed. For you, and you were here, drinking, laughing, jaw tight. So what? Now you're turning me in? Yes. He leaned back, bitter laugh. Good luck. Panama doesn't extradite for financial crimes. I checked, stood. I'm sorry you're hurting, but I can't go to prison. I won't. You'll figure it out. You always do. Started walking. I loved you, I said hollow. Everything I did was for you. He stopped, didn't turn. 5 seconds. I know, Dad. I'm sorry that wasn't enough. Walk to Kelsey. They argued. He took her hand, walked the beach, disappeared. Bartender approached. Sir, okay. No, but I need calls. Phone out, Walter. Morning flight home. Of course, Mr. Pierce, FBI. Agent Thornton. Grayson's number. Agent Thornton. Donovan Pierce. Found my son alive. Fake death 11 days ago. Evidence, photos, recorded confession. Ready to press charges, pause. Mr. Pierce, Panama does have extradition treaty. Your son was wrong, good. I want him to face what he's done. The flight home the next morning felt far longer than the one to Panama. Grief stretches every minute. Walter drove me to the airport for my 6 a.m. flight, and I spent the whole trip staring out the window, replaying Holden's confession. Every lie, every excuse, every cowardly shrug. I listened to the 18-minute recording twice. His voice was unmistakable. I forged your signature. I faked my death. Worth it to escape. Proof of everything. Late afternoon in Portland, Claire met me at arrivals and hugged me hard. Dad, what happened in the car? I told her about the bar. Kelsey and Holden admitting everything before walking away. Her knuckles whitened around the steering wheel. He's a bastard. Back home, she cried. I didn't. I felt emptied out. Now we fight, I said. The next morning, we met with my lawyer, Monica Garrison. I played the recording and showed her the forged documents from the safe deposit box. She listened carefully, then said, this is clear federal fraud. She listed the charges forged. Signatures, wire fraud, bank fraud, identity, theft, insurance fraud. The recording was admissible under Oregon's one-party consent law. We need to involve the FBI immediately. I already called them from Panama, I said. That afternoon, we met with Agent Thornton. Disciplined, methodical. He reviewed everything. Your son committed multiple federal crimes. Extradition from Panama is possible, but it takes time, months, maybe more. We'll coordinate with Panamanian authorities and Interpol. Be patient. I nodded. I just want the truth to be acknowledged. 2 days later, Bethany came over with boxes of documents, computers, and Holden's phone records. She looked exhausted. Take everything. I want him to pay for what he did to all of us. She said she'd filed for divorce, abandonment, and fraud. Being a fake corpse speeds up the paperwork, she said bitterly. She showed me the life insurance claim she'd filed. The company was now investigating. Bethany, you're a victim too, I said. We both are, she whispered. 1 week after Panama, the final foreclosure notice arrived. 14 days to vacate. Monica explained the reality. We could fight it, but proving fraud would take months. Legal fees would drain whatever equity remained. I walked through the house. Judith and I built together her kitchen, her garden, the living room where the kids grew up. Holden didn't just steal money, I said. He stole her memory. Over the next 10 days, I packed everything worth keeping. Judith's books, her quilt, a few photos. On day 13, I found a small one-bedroom apartment downtown, 650 square feet view of a parking lot, but it was mine. After paying for the investigator lawyer and deposit, I had $8,000 left. Claire helped me move 2 truckloads. The rest I donated or sold. That night, I sat alone on the floor with an air mattress and a suitcase. Then an email arrived from Blake Morrison, panama@gmail.com. Subject, sorry Dad. Just 2 words. I'm done. Attached was a wire transfer receipt. $50,000 sent to my account 3 days earlier. The note read for the house. I'm not heartless. Don't try to find me. I've moved. New city, new name. I stared at it for a long time. Conscience or strategy? I forwarded everything to Agent Thornton and Monica. The next morning, Monica called. FBI is moving forward. Extradition is a long process. Months, maybe longer. Can you handle the waiting? I looked around the bare apartment boxes. Air mattress silence. I don't have a choice, I said. I want justice. However long it takes. 6 months later, everything changed with one phone call. 6 months in limbo. Library work, 20 hours weekly, $15 an hour. Small apartment. Careful spending. Weekly calls with Monica. Still waiting, Panama. Monthly FBI updates. Paperwork processing. Month 2. Handwriting expert confirmed forgery. Month 4. Debts removed from my name. House sold, money to legal fees. $47,000 left. Not enough to buy anything. Enough to survive. Month 5. Bethy's divorce finalized. 6 months. 3 days after Panama, I was shelving books. Phone rang. Agent Thornton. Mr. Pierce, we got him. I sat hard. Holden arrested this morning. Coronado. Panama Police FBI coordination. Same bar. Buena Vista. Old routine. Thought he was safe. Thought we'd give up. He was wrong. Extradition approved. 2 weeks transfer. Federal charges, Portland, trial. 3 months out. No bail. Flight risk. Next 3 months preparation. Monica warned. Strong case. Confession, forged documents. Fake death. But trial's unpredictable. Bethany and I subpoenaed. Claire attended hearings. 2 months before trial, I saw Holden, orange jumpsuit, handcuffed, thinner. Our eyes met. He looked away. No words. Trial lasted 3 days. Portland Federal Court. Day 1, jury selection, opening statements, prosecutor. This man faked his death to escape consequences. Day 2, evidence, witnesses. Monica testified. Bethany took stand. He said he loved me the night before he died. Voice broke. Our marriage was a lie. Handwriting expert, forged. No doubt. FBI agent. Fake passport. Death certificate, transfers. Insurance investigator, $500,000. Fraudulent claim. Recording played. Holden's confession. 18 minutes. Jury silent. When worth it to escape, 1.2 million played. Jurors shook heads. Day 3, morning. I testified. Mr. Pierce, tell the jury what this did. I took the stand. Holden was my son. My friend, my pride. When Officer Jadar is called, I collapsed. I buried an empty casket. Gave eulogy. Grieved 11 days. Then truth, debts, lies, affair. Lost my house. House I shared with Judith 30 years. Every memory packed and sold. Voice steady, eyes wet. Worse than money, worse than house. I lost ability to trust. He didn't just fake death. He killed something in me. I don't know if I'll forgive him, but I'll survive because giving up means he wins. Afternoon. Jury deliberated. 2 hours, returned. We have verdict. Judge Caldwell. Wire fraud guilty. Bank fraud guilty. Identity theft guilty. Insurance fraud guilty. All counts guilty. Holden stared ahead. No reaction. 2 weeks later, sentencing. Judge spoke. Defendant devastated family. Crimes calculated. Extended years showed cruelty. 12 years federal prison, restitution 1.22 million plus fees. Holden led away handcuffed. Looked at me. No words. 5 seconds gone. Outside courthouse, Claire hugged me. It's over. No, just beginning now. I rebuild. 8 months later, 1 year since Panama, I stood in apartment. No longer empty. Furniture, photos, plants. Not Judith's house, but mine. No lies, no debt, no ghosts. Library 30 hours now. Small raise. Savings 12,000. Simpler, smaller, clean. Claire visited Sundays, brought grandkids. Bethany sent card. Thank you. She'd moved on, healing. One evening, Claire asked, will you visit him? Prison? Long silence. Thought about boy who caught fish. Man who faked death? 2 people same face. Maybe someday. Not now. Not yet. What will you do? Calendar on wall. Tomorrow night. Community center. New purpose. Tomorrow I have somewhere I need to be. Claire smiled. Mom would be proud. I hope so. I really hope so. 18 months after Panama, 6 months after the trial, I stood in a circle at the Portland Community Center. A multi-purpose room with fluorescent lights and the smell of coffee. 23 chairs, people arriving with the same haunted look I once had. 6 months ago, I founded this group, Financial Abuse Survivors. Every Tuesday at 7, free, open to anyone. I stood at the front and said, good evening. 18 months ago, my son faked his death to escape $1.2 million of debt he put under my name. He's now serving 12 years in federal prison. I'm here like you trying to rebuild. People shared Gerald 70. My caregiver stole $180,000. Forged checks. It wasn't the money. It was the betrayal. Nancy 50s. My brother borrowed for 20 years. $200,000 in total. Destroyed my retirement. How do I forgive that? Tyler 20s. My wife drained our accounts. $75,000 in hidden credit cards. Gambling addiction. I still love her. That's the worst part. Everyone nodded. Love and betrayal often coexist. After they finished, I spoke. What I've learned. Trust isn't blind. Love people, but verify documents. Ask questions. It's not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. They made their choices. You choose what happens next. I paused. Forgiveness isn't required to heal. Some days I think I forgive Holden. Other days I remember the lies, the debts, the empty casket. Maybe forgiveness isn't the point. Maybe moving forward is. At 8:30 the meeting ended. A young man approached. My father died 2 weeks ago. I'm finding debts I never knew about. I don't know where to start. I recognized his fear. Start with the truth. Gather documents one step at a time. It feels impossible now, but it won't always. I handed him a card. Monica Garrison, best financial fraud attorney in Portland. Tell her I sent you. Claire walked in and said softly, Mom would be proud of you, Dad. I smiled. I lost the house. But I found something else, purpose. These days, I teach financial literacy at the community college. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I speak at high schools about senior centers about warning signs of financial abuse. Next month, I'm writing an article for AP magazine. That week, a letter arrived from the federal prison in California. Holden's handwriting. Dad, I know you won't write back. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know I'm sorry. Not because I'm in here because I hurt you. You taught me better. I think about you every day about the man you are, the man I should have been. I hope someday you can forgive me. I understand if you can't, Holden. I read it 3 times. I didn't respond, but I didn't throw it away. I put it in a drawer. Maybe someday I'll answer. Not today. That night, I stood at my apartment window looking at the quiet street and city lights. 2 years had passed since the call telling me my son was gone. People ask if I forgive him. Honestly, I don't know. Some days, yes, he's my son. Other days, I remember the forged documents in that safe deposit box. Maybe forgiveness isn't what matters. Maybe what matters is what I see on my fridge. Our group photo. 23 people rebuilding from ruins. Holden tried to destroy me, but he didn't succeed. I'm still here, still standing, still building. If you're reading this and any of it feels familiar. Secrecy about money excuses your gut telling you something's wrong, listen to that feeling. Ask questions. Look at the documents. And if you've already discovered the truth, if you're standing in the ruins like I was, you're stronger than you think. The person who hurt you didn't win. You're still here. You can rebuild. I did, and so can you. Looking back at my story now, I see things clearly. This grandpa's story isn't just mine. It's a warning. Don't be like me. Don't let love blind you to the truth. I trusted completely, never verified, never questioned. That cost me everything. Here's what this true story taught me. Trust, but verify, always. Love doesn't mean turning a blind eye. It means caring enough to ask the hard questions. Check documents. Know where your money goes. Financial secrecy in any relationship is a red flag you cannot ignore. I ask God many times why this happened to me. Why my own son I still don't have all the answers. But I've learned this. Sometimes the hardest lessons come from the deepest betrayals. And sometimes surviving them reveals the strength you never knew you had. This isn't just another grandpa's story you scroll past. This true story is real. It happened to me and it could happen to you. So, I'm asking you, don't wait until it's too late. If something feels wrong, investigate. Protect yourself. Protect your future. Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to live through them. And if you're already standing in the ruins like I was, you're stronger than you think. You can rebuild. I did. If this true story resonated with you, if you face something similar, or if you know someone who needs to hear these grandpa stories, leave a comment below. Share your story. Subscribe to this channel so we can keep sharing real stories that matter. Together, we're stronger. Together we survive.